Here it is, the Nikon D800E. It costs almost 20% more than a D800. So why exactly is that? We're going to take a look at this and we're going to climb up there. Well, not climb up, we're going to walk up there. Looks easy, doesn't it? Let's go. That's actually quite a lot of steps.
The taxi driver dropped us off here and pointed us towards the steps, so up I went.
Oh Christ. Over there.
What I didn't realise was that nobody else was following me up these epic steps for a reason.
Oh jeez. That's not the right way. You know, somebody's actually inscribed LOL into the cement on the steps there. Somebody is having a laugh. So quite long. Good luck. Oh shit. Oh, that feels like it's poking my arsehole, but still it's more comfortable than going up there. Christ. On a bike. Let's go. Just one more minute. You know, some things in life you pay more for, but you actually get less. Like when you pay for liposuction, you get less fat. And the same goes with, you know, Michelin-starred restaurants. When you pay for loads, you get this tiny little bit on the plate. You get less edible stuff than a greasy spoon cafe. Then you've got the super lightweight cars where you pay loads of money for stuff to be taken out. Then you have hi-fis, which basically ditch all the graphic equalizers and buttons and stuff, all for the purity of the sound. Then we have this, the D800E. It looks exactly the same as the D100. Well, it's got the same grip, same body weight, it's the same 36 megapixel sensor, same 51-point AF system with 15 cross type. Then you've got the full FPS continuous burst rate, same 100% viewfinder, same 3.2-inch LCD screen, same battery, loads of mosquitoes, same ISO 100 to 6400 with a boost maximum of 25,600. Then you can see just how good the video is just by looking at the screen here. 1080p, you can see it just there. Let's go, my arse is killing me. I've been impregnated by a tripod. Violated. Well, even though this looks the same, it is practically the same camera. It costs quite a bit more. And well, some of you will probably be expecting me not to talk about price increases when it's a Nikon, so I won't mention it. But there is something that justifies the E on the end of the name. And I don't know what the E means either. Exciting, extortion, excretion, who knows. Anyway, the point is, this doesn't have an anti-aliasing filter. Looks like a penis, isn't it? You probably tried to do a penis and then I thought, that's rude. Do a face, graffiti fail. And what's the whole point of taking the anti-aliasing filter out? Well, we should go back to the hi-fi analogy, where it's basically taking stuff out to keep the purity of the end result. See, anti-aliasing filters are put into digital cameras to stop moire effects happening. I can't even say it. Moire effects happen when you've got these repeating lines. And you end up getting this kind of psychedelic result out of it. But the thing is, when you put an AA filter in front of the sensor, it makes things a lot more blurry. So you actually pay more for them to leave stuff out of the camera. Leave stuff out of it, and you pay more. Well, the thing is, they haven't actually left stuff out. It still has a low-pass filter. The only thing is that on a normal low-pass filter, you've got 3 filters. One that divides it into 2, and it goes through the IR filter. And the last filter splits into 4 beams. With this, The first filter still splits into two beams, goes through an IR filter, but the last one actually reverses it and makes it into one beam again, so you don't lose sharpness. If that made any sense. Sounds like bollocks to me. See these fishermen people come down here. This is... Jeez, what? I picked the wrong kind of shoes for this. Christ almighty. Why don't I just take a shot from up there? Hey? Oh, shit! I should have just taken it from up there. Oh, lots of insects here. Fuck. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Why don't I just stay at home? And the rocks is wet down here. Still haven't got that Gitso tripod bag. I've still got this shit. Oh, fuck. But in theory, with this new configuration, things should be incredibly sharp. I've tightened the buggery out of this tripod. Why is it still moving? Just waiting for a bit of a big wave. I want a really slow shutter speed, but I don't have an ND filter. It's down to f16. Half a second. Not slow enough for me. There we go.
Ooh, magic crap, wow, 5 stars. Those files are crisper than a rasher of bacon burnt to a cinder.
You see, last time I tested the 800 and it was incredible with its 36 megapixels. The detail you get is quite staggering.
At first glance, things don't look dramatically different. The D800 is a stunning performer when it comes to resolving the details. On a big IMAX screen, you won't be able to see much difference between these two photos.
They just love holding $60,000 plus more the lens in your hands precariously. You know, the weather report said it'll be a nice day today. What? What aspect? Yeah, if you like clouds, then take one a slightly larger aperture where the sweet spot is. F16, things can get a little bit soft, so let's try this.
Even at a sharper aperture where you get less diffraction, the difference is still difficult to discern just by looking at it on the screen. When you start pixel peeping, you can see that the D800E is a wee bit sharper.
Of course, there's nothing to report back in terms of difference between autofocus speeds because it's exactly the same. It's the same thing. Shit, my shoe's coming off.
In some ways, I still wasn't convinced. I wanted to try and find that extra 20% performance, that wow factor. Unfortunately, the location didn't provide any percentage of beautiful locations left.
You know, we've done our research, we know where we're going, but that looks a lot shitter than it does in the photos, I have to say. Now, there is some sharpness there. Of course, there's certain people, it's not going to be for everybody, is it? Of course, it's great for when you're taking landscapes, seascapes, whatever you like to do, scapes.
I was thinking that I would get the D800E over the D800, but you know, I'm not so sure now. The difference is there, but you have to seek it out. In real use, when you're not printing it to the size of your wall, you won't realise which one is which.
Now, I have to say, I don't think Alambi and Lock meant it, but they've come with some great moire testing clothes today.
An anti-aliasing filter prevents moire effects, which you get on repeating fine lines in a picture when they are shot in a certain way as to make you feel like you're looking at a 3D picture. That is one of the consequences of doing away with it. But just how bad is it with the D800E? In some ways you can take many pictures and not be affected by any moire. Lock and Alambi's moire test shot clothing fares quite well mostly. It's only when you look at Lock's Moire Madness trousers that you can see that the D800E does do a little worse than the D800. But the whole moire thing is something that can be ignored, as it does benefit from an increase in sharpness. Mind you, that increase in sharpness can be ignored too, given the fact that the difference is mostly insignificant. Alright, it is more expensive too, but that's because the anti-aliasing filter that is or isn't there costs more to make. It will be a low volume production camera also, but that's because this isn't made for everyone. Not everyone will need that extra bit of sharpness. For a lot of people who are looking for a full frame camera, it's likely that they won't be taking photos for billboard ads or printing huge for a gallery. For those people, they can surely appreciate it. But for the majority, whose photos end up on the net or in a magazine, it doesn't actually matter. For those who it shouldn't matter to have a D800E, you should just take that extra 20% money and give yourself an excuse to buy another lens.